Rich Trani with TMC here. Thanks for watching. We're at ITEXPO 2014 in extremely sunny Las Vegas. Mark Ricca is with us. He's with IntelliCom Analytics. And Mark, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Very well, Rich. Enjoying it as usual, and frankly, very encouraged by the attendees that I've had the opportunity to speak to. And frankly, I'm always blown away by the number of new entrants to this industry with some, frankly, very unique perspectives and solutions.
So when you say new entrants to this industry, which industry are you referring to?
Well, let's say communications at all, but information technology based. But as I say, you tend to think of if somebody mentions information technology, you tend to think of the big players that have been around for many, many years. But walking through the exhibit area every time I attend and participate in this show, I'm just blown away by the number of new entrants with either unique ideas or perfected existing solutions.
Right. So you've been an analyst for a good amount of time. You've got a tremendous reputation in terms of knowing about what's happening in communications and technology. What are some of the important trends that the viewers should know about right now? What's happening?
Well, obviously, you can't ignore all of the attention that's being paid to cloud solutions. And I will say this, and I say this kind of tongue-in-cheek, but our industry loves hype and acronyms. And you know, if you believe what you read about cloud as offered by many of the major players, you would think that it's the cure for world peace, cancer, and overweight. You know, but it's real. I think the time has come. So that is exciting, Rich. And as you well know, there's no one definition or quality characteristic of cloud. It's very flexible. I think that the solutions are in their infancy, as well as the adoption rate. There are a number of hurdles to be overcome, particularly with regard to compliance, you know, security, basically exiting, if you will. If a user is not particularly happy with a cloud solution, how difficult, how painful is it to exit that arrangement? But it's clearly one of the hottest things and most viable approaches to solving business problems that's on the horizon today.
So what are the entrenched hardware vendors, the ones that have been around for many years, providing communication solutions, doing about this new competitive threat?
Well, great question, and I think the operative word in your question, Rich, is threat. Some view it as a threat, others are embracing it and offering cloud solutions as an option, if you will, a consideration, along with their traditional solutions. So, and you know this as well as anybody, if not better than anybody, there's no one size fits all. And I think one of the benefits today of having cloud options versus premise solutions is that the user does have choices. And if you talk to a typical user today, they don't like to be boxed in with, here's the solution, take it or leave it. It's, I understand your problems, and that's key, obviously. I understand the challenges, the roadblocks, if you will, that you face every day with regard to delivering whatever your product or service is. And here are a couple of options for you to consider. I recommend this one, but it's not the only game in town, so to speak.
Right. Now, I'm just curious, I don't know how closely you track what's happening in the world of security, but is that something that you're seeing is becoming an issue?
Very much so, Rich. And I would say that, I mean, that is a horizontal concern as opposed to a vertical solution. Given some of the mischief that we see going on today everywhere, be it at an international level or national level, security is prime. A prime consideration that in many cases is kind of, let's say, underplayed, underconsidered. And you've got obviously many attributes of security. You've got those mischief makers that are hackers, if you will, that are intent upon creating problems. And then you've got the, for lack of a better term, let's say the naive user within a company, within an organization, that does things that undermine and place in harm's way security. They do it innocently, but nevertheless, it could cause a security breach.
So what should companies be doing?
Education, and not once, Rich, repeated education. And frankly, I think in the pace that exists today in most businesses, communicating on a regular, not once a year, once a quarter basis, but on a regular basis with users and informing them about the dangers, the potential breaches that could occur in the business, either because they're naive about it or because of outside mischief makers becoming very sophisticated in creating problems.
So there seems to be no end then, basically, right?
Oh, absolutely not. It's ongoing. I mean, it's breathing. It's critical, and again, it tends to be pushed aside a little bit, underplayed because of other concerns, but it's ongoing.
Okay, so if a company wants to engage your firm or to work with you or hire you out, how does that work exactly?
Well, with regard to IntelliCom Analytics, we've got, as you know, two major lines of business. We've got market research. We do primary research, actually aided and abetted by your platform. And then we take that information, and slice it, dice it, package it, and make it available to suppliers and end users that are looking for intelligence that has been analyzed and presented on that subject. The other complementary side of the business is consulting. We provide hands-on consulting to suppliers, to end users that are looking for a second opinion or lack the resources or time to address a problem that they're attempting to solve.
What kind of problem?
You name it. Recognition that they're not offering the best customer service, that they have been leapfrogged in terms of customer service by some of their competitors, but any business problem. And I'll just kind of give you, let's say, an example of things that we and other companies like ours do, and that is paying a lot more to discovery than talking about how great your product or service is. I'll tell you an anecdote. My dad used to say, whenever I thought I knew everything about everything and would talk rather than listen, he would say, "Mark, I never learned anything when I was talking. Be a good listener. Ask the right questions to get the right answers, then talk." So I think that a lot of companies are paying a lot more attention to, rather than, again, right in the door, talking about their product or service, they're asking the right questions to get the right answers, and then writing the prescription, the solution applied that is relevant, that is secure, that is measurable, and that is flexible.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for being here today. This is
Thank you,
great.
Rich. My pleasure.